Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Welcome to SKTV. Welcome to SKTV Live. Let's share the show. If you can't, let's share the show. Let's share the show. Let's share the show if you can. It's a good thing to be alive. I'm excited. Let's share the show. As you join us, tell us where you're following us from. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. We'll have Siku, Milborn, Monk, and the rest of the team joining us here in a jiffy. But let's share the show in the meantime, please. Let's share the show. Yeah. Let's share the show. Forget fini ya. Forget fini ya. As if for no they finish. Yeah, share the show, yeah. I got some people reaching out to me about yesterday's show. Anyway, let's start recognizing some of you here really quick. Amos Moluba watching us from UAE. Thank you, Amos, for following us. Amos, as you join us, share the show, please. Invite someone. Asata Dawson watching us from, where's that? Maryland. Asata, how are you? Asata, thank you for following us. Thank you and thank you. Thank you so much. Let's share the show as you join us. Folks, let's share the show. Let's see who's next. James Yense from New Jersey. James, thank you for following us. Good morning, good afternoon to you. Good morning from my end, folks. It is still morning here. For some of you, I know it is evening or afternoon when you're in, especially those of you on the East Coast. And let's go to Yan Bebo Yan. He was one of the very first person here today. As always, Yan Bebo Yan. Thank you for joining us. We'll be having our man Milborn Kula Johnson joining us. I beg you. And the problem is, I greet our people.
I guess you our favorite lesson. So look, I will enjoy the song. Who gonna care for you and myself? Because if everybody behaving the way they are behaving, now who gonna care? Check for Senso. Some of you out there, check for Senso. Who gonna care?
My man, you all, I beg you. You're not kind. They tell you we're not here. We're working very, very peacefully. Welcoming our people. Let me welcome. Edward is watching us from the Garden State. Edward, where's the Garden State? Please help us.
Okay.
You know, some of all who not stay long in the country here, all the places that we not know them up there. So help us, my brother. The Garden State. I will play you can call the Garden State.
I like that.
Yeah, before we can get, but some who not stay long in the player, so we not know all the different. The other time the king say the Peach State. We found out. Yeah, the Peach State. We found out. No, peach, not pink. Peach State. So okay. We found out that was Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, somebody said that New Jersey. Oh no, Mr. Eastman. Eastman, what's up?
Mr. Eastman,
look, my man, you us. You're in Miami or they were discussing Google State and you're in Miami, leave us. Let's go to
look, don't mind John Lobo. We say 1.5 million people suffer in America. Me, I won't go to America. Me suffer.
My man, let me. My man, I don't talk about people then who working on a table. I don't discuss people who work on. I discuss legitimate legal people who are working. I talk about people who flooding payroll, then they making noise. They see people on Facebook, hypocrite. Then they see people on payroll, on cover, on Facebook. I don't discuss those kind of people. I want to discuss serious-minded people who are working legitimately, legally, and so forth. I'm talking about people who you working on a table. That means they'll be working on a table in my own country. I'm supposed to work on a table in my own country. Not ready.
You get
My people that you bring, Jeremiah, that one you'll be fine. Jeremiah Colette from Mississippi Street, Greensville, Sano. Thank you, Jeremiah. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Who is this?
Jimmy Eastman.
No,
Jimmy Eastman.
Somebody in the back end there. Who is that?
Tachina. Oh yes, he's the person I told you about from the MOE. I'm going to tell a little bit about what happened, how the name was removed from the MOE and so forth. Just a few minutes, then we can continue with our show up to the time.
Okay. That person will introduce himself, but let we got a guest. Let him sit down. Let Frank relax. Frank will be with you very soon. We got a guest in the back there, folks. Let's share the show now.
Yeah, please share the show today.
If you not tell where you follow us from, we're not calling you on the show yet. You can follow instruction on your business. We are on the show yet. We can follow instruction, and you're not following instruction. You're not following instruction. We're not listening to you. That means you're not ready yet. Anyway, let's move on. Toba for Omega Market. Okay. Martha Gay is watching us from Grand Rapids, Michigan. What's up, Martha? Jeremiah Stiaway is watching us from Pinsville, precisely GSA Road. Jeremiah, thank you so much. Precisely GSA Road. Let's move on. Hello, let's get to you. Willingboro, New Jersey. Okay, Willingboro, New Jersey. And James, welcome to the show, folks. Let's share the show. A lot of things happening. We have a guest today that will be joining us in the conversation. Jason Green is watching us from Chester County. Jason Green is Chester County in Pennsylvania, or where? Annie Hoto is watching us from Atlanta, Georgia. My auntie Sarah Tule is watching us from New York. Auntie, what's up? Folks, let's share the show. Let's share the show. I'm talking in a real wrong way. Let's share the show, folks. If you're just joining us, today is the 4th of October, 2024. I'm joining you here from Arizona, and the timestamp here is 11:16. As we get our guests set up in the back end to join us momentarily, I want to say to you, we are grateful to be alive today. Today is a good day to be alive. It's a fascinating time to be alive. Lots of things are happening in history. Around the world, we have scores of things going on around the world, and hey, good news for us in the United States. At the docket, they have agreed to a term, and so they will be resuming work at the docket. There will be no more protests in the U.S. So we're anticipating prices to go up. Prices will not go up. They came to an agreement yesterday. The negotiation went through, so that's a good thing. There will be no more. The people will not be going on strike, which is good. It's good for this country. It's good for us who live here. Things will not be hard on us. Joseph Greatness Huffman is watching us from Nashville, from the city of Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, Joseph. I've passed through the city of Nashville, Tennessee. Not a bad place. Cool place to be. But folks, let's share the show. We have a lot of things to cover today. As you can see the conversation. Today, we have our guest that will hang with us for a few minutes here, and then we'll get into the conversation again. So after 10 months, where are we headed? Melbourne, quickly, let me play this 4 minutes video really quick. And then our guest will join us. I want to play this 4 minute video really quick. But before we play the 4 minutes video, Melbourne, quickly update us on what's going on in the country, why I set up the video, what's going on, what's the latest, and I'll set up the video for us to play right after that.
Well, so again, let me say thank you so much, my brother, Steve. So far, so good. Today is Friday and having to be the 4th of October. So nothing much in fact, nothing much happening apart from the rainfall, the flooding activities or the flooding situations in Liberia. Even as we speak, the RIA, that is the Freeport, the RIA is the Rawa International Airport, which are going to be one of the places where Liberia get all of their flights, or they have their own way of traveling out of Liberia through the airplane or through a plane. That place has been flooded according to information. Some part of it, especially the departure or the some part of it has been flooded by water. So there was some military action. Apart from that, also the city hall. Also, there are some reports that the city halls are also there's some leakage or leakages in the city hall, and that also the city mayor also confirmed that indeed, yes, indeed, they can or they can confirm that indeed there were some leakages in the city hall. But again, apart from all of these things, Liberians are experiencing rainfall, heavy rainfall, flooding back to back, even in Nimba and that in Grand County. So there's some military action people are saying it's climate change, some of the things that happen is not natural, and so forth. But again, before I turn over to you, the LPRC also yesterday put out their gasoline price, the lithium price on what's going to be happening. That is the petrol prices about the gasoline. That, for example, the price is set from $4 plus up to $3.75. So that means like we will be buying the gasoline now somewhere around $775. But again, apart from all of these things, my brother, nothing much. We are good. We are okay. And the weather condition is still the same. Everything here, we are experiencing rainfall. Nothing much.
Everything here, we're experiencing rainfall, nothing much. Well, folks, that's part of the rescue. The gas prices going up. We'll talk about those tomorrow, but let's get into this. I want you to listen to this video. Since we're talking about Liberia and we're talking about 10 months into leadership, I want you to listen to what our neighbor right next door, the Ivory Coast, they don't speak English. I want you to listen to what they have been doing, what they intend to do. I want you to listen. Liberian people, I want you to listen. I want you to listen to serious-minded group of people, serious government people, people who love the nation, who care about the country, people who are serious about the future of their children, next generation to come. I want you to listen. I want you to listen to our country that Liberia is older than 3 times, because Ivory Coast, I think it's about 65, 64 years old, 66 years old. We are 100 and I think 77 or 78. So that means we can born Ivory Coast 3 different times. I want you to listen to progress. Listen to serious leaders and people who mean well. Listen to them.
Ivory Coast constructing the 1.7 billion ambitious Abidjan Metro. Ivory Coast, which is known as Côte d'Ivoire, is a country located on the south coast of West Africa. Its economic capital is Abidjan and is the largest city as well. This city is richly blessed with political stability, which has driven its economic forward and forward. Abidjan, being its capital, has problems when it comes to traffic. This has made it difficult for circulation of people in the city and also a huge problem when it comes to workers, which bring us to the reason why Ivory Coast is constructing the 1.7 billion Abidjan Metro. Sit back and let African Reloaded take you on a tour. The Ivory Coast's population of over 2 million people spend more than 2 hours traveling to work by bus or automobile, causing not just motor traffic but also human traffic. To address this, the government has decided to build a metro rail system, which will be the first of its kind in West Africa. The Abidjan Metro is a 37.5-kilometer rapid transit system that serves Abidjan's economic hub. Construction began in 2020 and passenger service is planned to commence in 2025. This train route will consist of a single line with 3 stations. Bauer-Dongson, a French construction company, is in charge of this project, which so far has included a single-line train line and 20 stations. The driver of this metro train, which is created as an overground trial way to avoid tunnels, will be able to go at a maximum speed of 80 kilometers per hour and a maximum frequency of 100 seconds. One of these Abidjan metro trains is designed to transport 500,000 passengers per day, which equates to 100 million passengers per year, at a cost of $1.7 billion financed by France and the French development industry. Second, the first railway was built in the Ivory Coast, and it was later extended to portions of French West Africa. A 70-kilometer route connecting Abidjan and Eriguea was opened in 1905. The line was eventually expanded to other parts of the states, and in 2019, a contract for the building of a 37-kilometer light railway metro in Abidjan was given, connecting the city with access to the city airport. The Abidjan Metro Railway will be managed by Abidjan Travelers, which is also responsible for local transportation. The urban train will transport 500,000 passengers daily with one train every 3 minutes, 7 days a week, and will connect the north and south of the city in 35 minutes, which is 4 times faster than before. This development contributes not only to the economy's success, but also to the lives of citizens and serves as a source of employment. Due to the nature of Abidjan, which has beaches and a variety of locations, this project will require the building of 24 bridges, 1 viaduct over a lagoon, 34 pedestrian footbridges, and 8 underpasses. The train selected for this project is equipped with a next-generation communication and control system, and it is supposed to improve train regularity and safety. This elevated rapid transportation line, which will open in 2025, will provide a north-south link via the Ivory Coast, passing through states such as Abidjan, Traceville, and Port Bouet. Ivory Coast is one of Africa's fastest-growing economies, and according to the IMF, the country's GDP will rise in the future years. Abidjan, the economic center, has a population of roughly 5 million people, or about 20% of the overall population. I am aware that I am the 6th most populous country in Africa, with a population of 7.7 million people predicted by 2030. So far, economic improvement has been constant over the years, making it one of the best places to visit or even stay in West Africa. Although the project is welcomed by many, there are many who still disagree, as we know that critic must be everywhere. Their reason is that the cost is high and suggested that the local bus would have been preferable. But that's their opinion because the government has the final say, and that's why the project is going forward. If you enjoyed this video and want to know about the African...
All right. Well, folks, there you have it. We have Mr. Francis William with us today. Mr. Williams, welcome to SKTV. How are you? I'm not sure if he's hearing us. I'm not sure if he's hearing us. Mr. Williams, welcome. Folks, let's share the show. One of our brothers made a very good point. Yes, Arico was colonized by France. I agree with you. Yes, France has invested a lot of money in the Arico. I also agree with you. But on the other hand, yes, the monies and the resources that have been invested by France in Aricos, the leaders are using to develop the country and impact the lives of the people. That is the only difference with us. That is the only difference with Liberia and the Ivory Coast. In Liberia, donors give money, people give money to us. Our political leader then take it. Our political people, our leaders in the country, national leaders, they take it, they put it in their own pocket, they embezzle, they steal, they corrupt the country. That's the huge difference we have. So yes, I agree with you. So let nobody fool you, Liberians. The United States of America has invested, you know what I mean, for we Ellington, the 12 year, you know what I mean, for 16 billion. Do you know what it means for billions to be in the country? And those guys are phoned. According to Joseph Yoma Boaka, he said they squandered all the opportunities that were given. So you can't blame the United States. You can't blame us. You can't blame people who have invested in the country. What we have had over the past years and today, we have had corrupt leaders, incompetent, inept leaders who are a bunch of rogues and thieves that are unserious. They don't want to see the benefit of the people. That's it. That's the only problem we're having, like, bro. Our problem is not spiritual. Nobody swear, like, bro. Our problem is not lack of resources or whatever it is. Our problem is we have had a bunch of criminals that have led the country. That's it. So criminals have led the country. That's it. No, I ain't here to sugarcoat that thing. They already know me. I don't do that your diplomacy. The people that have led the country are a bunch of criminals. We have elected another old criminal who has come and exhibited criminality. Simple. Nothing. No, we sugarcoating nothing here. Anyways, more welcome to the show. We have a guest that will be with us for the next maybe 15, 20 minutes here. Well, welcome, Monk. How are you?
What's up? What's going on, guys? And welcome to the Friday's edition of SKTV to our listeners from Liberia and around the world, most specifically the US, Canada, Australia, anywhere you find yourself, especially for Liberia. We say welcome to SKTV. And today is Friday. You know our Friday tradition. We should keep SKTV going live on the radio in Liberia. So you know what time it is when it's on Friday. So we expect you guys to chime in again today, financially, morally, and any kind of support you can give to SKTV to keep the show running. So I'm here. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, more quickly before we go to our guest that's joining us today. I'm not sure if you follow the show, if you follow the prelude that we play here today about the Ivory Coast. They started a project while Liberia was complaining about the COVID. While they were complaining about other things, Ivory Coast started a project in the middle of the COVID. 1.7 billion United States dollars they're using for railroad to ease transportation in the country, to facilitate things. I think yesterday you said something about the importance of transportation. What say you? How do you react? 1.7 billion.
Yep. You see, we always like to make excuses for the issue of colonization. Colonization being done more than almost 100 years ago. It's up to countries to determine their own fate. And I keep telling folks, when you go to serious country, when you follow serious country, you can know that they are all for business. Nobody is waiting for someone to come and rescue them. Okay, we agree that the French make some kind of an investment, but they are worrying themselves about determining their own destiny. The same with Ghana. People know that 21st century we are becoming more urbanized, more people are coming to the city, and the number one thing you want to make sure is to ease the transportational system that is taking people from one place to another, whether it's goods and services, whether it's human being, people must move. One thing we don't take into consideration, when you are stuck in traffic, you are losing money technically, because places that should take you 25 to 30 minutes, it's taking you 3 hours of the day. They are only 24 hours in the day. That's why you see in America, we got a rail system, we got the transit authority system, we got an interstate highway system. When you can move goods and services evenly and smoothly, you generate more revenue. People can accomplish more in the day. And when people can accomplish more in the day, it means they will engage into a lot of economic activity that will bring dividend to the government in terms of taxes and revenue. So countries like Africa are making down payment. Their economy is growing by 8%. It's one of the highest in the whole of West Africa. So what do you think? They want to make, I think you saw the video, it says 500,000 people in the day. You know what that means? When 500 people can easily commute from one city to another, that's big news. That's more money for the economy, that better standard of living. Either way, it's a win-win situation. So We don't need to argue about that. So you can talk about your colonization and French. At the end of the day, you said it right. When it comes to our country, we bring on serious manner people, give them state power, no vision, no plan. They are criminals. They come and steal your resources. They alter your budget. They take money from your central bank. Everything is unaccounted for. So keep giving excuses all you want. At the end of the day, the reality is that there for people to see. Serious country are doing serious things. In Liberia, you're not ready for prime time. That's the difference.
Thank you so much, Monk. Folks, today's show looks like it will be power packed. The show will be very, very noisy and hot, I can tell you that. But let's welcome our friend, our brother to the show. Mr. Frank Williams, how are you? We're not hearing you, Mr. Williams. I'm not sure if you're having some technical difficulties there. But while we are with Mr. Williams, Monk, just before we got on the show, in other news, the public welfare minister and his deputy almost took Quitty today again. So that we'll get into that. There's another Quitty again, where Joseph Boaga government. That's also fighting. That's also rebel name Brown Bull. So fighting. So fighting. What is happening?
Yeah.
What's going on? Rolling Giddings. We just pardon him for 22 million. They're coming pardon him again for fighting.
Yeah, they're gonna pardon him again, like always. I want to say when you go to serious country, you will identify serious people that offer serious things. In the case of Liberia, it's a dog and pony show. It's a community headquarters. You're not going anywhere with these guys. It's all about power. They know that the president himself is not in control. It's all about tribalism and who got more influence, who got more leverage. That's all you're gonna see happening over the next 6 years. So for the people who think that something is better going to happen for them, you waste your time. They will keep manufacturing crises one after another because they are just not ready to deal with the country's business. So you will keep getting the kind of a new physical altercation, the Centel and other people questioning Joseph Boaga. The same thing we discuss. I keep telling you every time. I don't know. People don't give us credit that we deserve. Every time we discuss this sensitive issue on SKTV, they appear in the major daily. Today, the very same thing we talked about yesterday, Front Page Africa talk about it. About the Boaga corruption fight, how the LACC is trying to bring an investigation. It's just one crisis after another. Nothing good, nothing you can relate to in this government. It's just one thing, one drama after another, and it's not going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, let's, Mr. Williams, are you there? Well, I'll have to take on Mr. Williams.
Yes, I'm here.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm getting you, but a little bit low.
Wonderful. Okay, let me see here from my end. Maybe from your end, because I'm at maximum here on the volume. So hopefully maybe they can increase your volume. But welcome to SKTV. How are you? I know this is your first time. Do you mind please introducing yourself to us?
It's a pleasure, Steve, to be on the show. Yeah.
Wonderful. And who are you? What brings you on? Mr. Williams, are you there?
I'm not getting you, Steve. I'm not getting you. Very low.
Yeah, it's probably something from your end there. Let's see. Are you hearing us? Some technical difficulties there. Well, we'll bring you back in when you're all set from the end there. Just lift up your tongue here, your thumb, and we'll be able to see you. And we can go from there, Mr. William, please. But Monk, what say you with all this halu drama noise? Any serious investor who want to even come around when they read the papers, they wake up in the morning, read the papers, or they do the kind of research and find out and say, listen, the drug enforcement agency, the LDA, open there. But then now the place that's supposed to be responsible for role and funding and all the other things, and they're fighting their police how they can divide them or separate them. Do you think any serious-minded group of people won't come around these kind of things? Or what kind of image are these guys presenting to the world of Liberia? What say you?
But they're not just ready to prepare for the job. Like I said, everything starts from the head. When you get a head who came to politics or into public office with our clear vision, I keep telling you on the show, when you read about visionary leaders, when leaders come to power with a certain benchmark and certain standard or certain goal they want to accomplish, when you have a clear intention and the vision for a country, you know exactly who to bring on board. In the case of Joseph Boaga, I keep telling you, that was it. Sometimes criticizing Joseph Boaga into the future is just a waste of time. I think he could care less. He doesn't have a plan. And I don't believe he's going to be on the ballot 6 years from now. So what are the political ramifications or the price that he's going to pay? The most Joseph Boaga can do, just take the thing one day at a time, steal as much as he can, like other previous leader. I mean, make sure his family and his relative, they are well off, and some individual from his party, and that's about it. 6 years from now, Liberian people can decide to make another choice, but I don't expect anything. I told you from the onset of this administration that my expectations are very low, because I know that, I keep telling you, success and failure are predictable. They are signs that can point to them. You don't have to wait for 6 years. You can just tell that this thing is going to be a waste of a 6 years. It will be one thing here and there. There will be no coherence in politics. There will be no transformation in the life of the ordinary Liberian. So whether it's fighting, whether it's the LDA, is the Public Work Ministry, someone not trying to sign document or sign on a voucher. I mean, it will just be one thing after another. Coming from the central bank, finance ministry, you got all these reports, you got asset recovery, everything is just one crisis after another. So I don't expect to see anything better or anything extra than what we are witnessing right now. My only fear here is, I just hope it doesn't get out of hand where people's lives will be involved. Because, Steve, when you follow African politics, most government, when they come to power, the very first thing they try to do is to steal as quickly as possible. When the next thing, when they steal, you have to protect the stolen wealth. Then you start becoming authoritative. When you start becoming authoritative, then people start targeting one another, what we call witch hunt. And you said it yesterday on the show when you review the TRC, some of the testimonials coming from people that participated in the war. It was all about people trying to get back at somebody else. And this thing will happen. You see it happening with the commerce minister and the commerce ministry, Amin Moda. Why he's always in the news? Is there a witch hunt? Why are you targeting? If the entire Joseph Boaga government is underperforming, then why do you want to pinpoint few individuals? These are some of the catalysts that lead to political uprising and people getting back at each other. Because at the end of the day, somebody will end up losing their job and people will want to pay back. That had the resentment. These are things that happen and people start getting back to each other. The next thing you go look, people will start vanishing or dying because that's just standard operating procedure. You saw it with the previous administration. Why do you think were the root causes for all those deaths of the auditor? No, stealing, nothing else. Stealing and audit.
Thank you so much. Well, Milborn, do you think our guest is ready? Because we're having technical difficulty here. He's ready?
Yes, indeed. Our guest is ready and he's listening to us. I think he's getting us. Yes.
Yeah, but I brought a man on, but the man looking like in the dark now.
Dark?
Can you hear? Yeah, on the screen there, looking dark. I don't know if you guys.
No, but the man still loading. Maybe at the bandwidth, this internet speed.
Yeah.
Wow. So let me go there and see how best.
Yeah, no for that today. Yeah, the other guys are looking at me.
Yeah. It was other things. Yeah, the matter of time, it will be okay. Let me go and take care of the man behind the scene.
Oh, so Mark, you I mean, in as much as we're taking these things for joke, it's very embarrassing, to be very honest. We can laugh, we can joke around, we can play around, we can say that politics, but it is embarrassing to be a Liberian at this time. It is. To see major key ministries where, see, Mom, who in a sound mind goes to work as a professional and go fight there? Where you never see that one? It's a plan for dismissal. I don't understand. Who goes to work and go fight there? I don't get it. Where you gotta get police involved and all? The police then said, they tell you that the police then said, that's serious man, there's all carry both of them. Let them be installed. Let them sleep there till Monday. You know.
I know it.
So that's where man, that bring Mr. Will. My man, Mr. Will.
Yeah, try.
Yeah, Mr. Will not make it. I can tell you that one. He not make it.
No, maybe it's only probably coming from him.
No.
How can I see? Even the video, we're not getting the video. And
no,
the message getting you loud and clear.
The video played. Mr. William, are you there?
The message getting you.
But we're not hearing the man.
Thank you. Then you gotta log out and come back.
Who gotta log out and come back?
You, of course.
You're not ready yet, man. You're not ready yet. You are not
Oh,
ready.
maybe want you to log on and come out, even though somebody else is struggling to come on.
Yeah, you're not ready yet. Now you're back watching where
No.
again, you can see me?
Mark,
You can see me?
I'm seeing you loud and clear.
You can hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Hold on. You can see Mr. William on the screen?
No.
But
So
why
then
you
why
want
you
to
tell me to log in?
it may not already stable.
Tell Mr. William.
You're gonna want to do it in reverse though.
That was saying that watching where again, like bro, I can think beyond. In the control can think if I want to think beyond. So I'm not logging. I'm in la bro, you can think beyond. In la bro, you can think beyond. In la bro, you can think. In la bro, you can think. Making your way or 79-year-old no serious minded country, lack of system. We go elect a 79-year-old corrupt, incompetent, inept men who are living on loan. No serious minded country.
No, I know the issue that I'm on Nigeria.
That is the truth. That is the truth. Nigeria has a system. Nigeria's system is better than Liberia. Nigeria has a system. A set system is better than Liberia. Yes, it is functioning.
Nigeria protested.
Anyway,
you know what happened? He's sinking.
Tell Mr. William, we are very sorry. Tell Mr. William, we are very sorry. He can come back another day, but unfortunately, we can't have him on today because of technical difficulties. We can't see him. He's not connecting. So, and I'm not logging out to come back in. It's not going to happen. Sorry. But let's move on. Let's move on into the conversation. If you can get Mr. William internet to settle, definitely he can join us. But until then, I'm not logging on to come back in. No way. It's not going to happen. But anyway, let's move on to the conversation. Let's move on to the conversation today. Monk, 10 months with all this halubalu, where are we headed? Where are we headed?
I can give you a definitive answer as to where we are headed. I know we are not going anywhere anytime soon. Maybe when the voter in that country gets serious, we will make progress. When the so-called educated masses in that country get serious for real transformation, maybe we'll see it from the action. As of now, I cannot tell you. The most I can tell you, like I said previously, it will be here and there, one thing after another, until we can max out the 6 years. 6 years is not 6 months or 6 weeks, and you can hear the feedbacks from the caller, some of the people that were on the rescue train. Like I said, from January to presently, the only difference was the people that are complaining that are coming from Unity Party themselves, the partisan or the people from the rescue train. It's not coming from SKTV. It's not coming from any media outlet. It's not coming from the opposition leaders, because as far as I'm concerned, I haven't seen a lot of opposition leaders raising the red flag recently. So it means the rescue train and their supporters, they are self-employing. For me, I already knew, like I told you, I could predict the outcome. I know that when it comes to leadership in the presidency, Joseph Baga doesn't have the attributes to transform a country. But in the case of Liberia, we got our own set of rules that we use to select or to elect leaders. And he happens to come out on top. So we will just have to drag it one day at a time until we can max out the 6 year and see and monitor the decision Liberian people are going to make into the near future. But I don't have anything. I'm not optimistic about this government chances. They are not heading in the right direction. And the president is not even showing the inclination that he's trying to turn things around. Matter of fact, according to the front page Africa, from the very story coming from the same Ministry of Public Work, I think it said the president issued a warning. He said, Front page Africa gathered that Joseph Boaga, currently out of the country, has expressed the disappointment over the lingering internal wrangling at the Ministry of Public Work and have instructed the two officials to settle their dispute or risk administrative action. So I don't know. That's where we stand right now. And the Public Work Ministry been in the news for a very long time. So there is not one day thing, it been happening. You see what
I guess they settled it today because they were throwing kuti. So I mean, they settled it. So look, let me say this, folks. Let me just say this. And this is no disrespect to Liberia, to Liberians, or to anyone. But let me say this today. Let me just say this to all of you guys. Whatever Liberia is experiencing is based on the choices and the decisions that we made. And that's just the truth of the matter. That is, whether you voted for Joseph Boaga or not, you had an opportunity. Less than two 2 million people voted, or 2 million people voted throughout this whole thing. All the other 3 million were sitting on the touch. They could have gotten in the street and said, no, this is not what we wanted. This is not what our vote reflects. But the fact that all of you sat down there and you were timid about this decision, we told you, Joseph Boakai is not going to do anything. Joseph Boakai is not going to, let me say it again. If you say, the way you sound is disrespectful, you talk, I get no different way to say it. Joseph Boakai himself is not disciplined. He didn't get it in him to discipline anybody. He does not have it in him. He is not a disciplined man. The fact that a man who worked in corrupt government for 12 years, with all the brown envelope that they share among himself, can come by and say he's living on loan after 12 years. He's not financially disciplined. He's not a disciplined man. So you don't expect anything from him. So that thing the way you're talking, I mean, Moda, they might fire, I mean, Moda, they might fire, they want. When the allegation, not the allegation, the fact came out about Mo Ali was serving as general secretary at that time, on a phone call, telling someone to abort pregnancy on a phone call as a sitting secretary general, I would have thought Joseph Boakai would have even put him on some kind of administrative leave or let him go for a few weeks or for a few days while they do the investigation. No, they did nothing. They did nothing about it. They let it slide. All the disgraceful things Joseph Boakai engaged into while he was not president, at his age, sitting on a platform with a confessed, convicted criminal, instant on Witherspoon, collecting money for him shamelessly. And you want to tell me Joseph Boakai got any kind of moral standing or to do anything that's right? Joseph Boakai does not have it in him. You know why I know Cummings will be serious if he were ever to be president? When I tip him out with George Weah's wife, with Ava Tokpa, Cummings asked Ava Tokpa to resign, and he resigned. I know politically it was not expedient. Some people say it was not the right thing to do, but that's what you do as leaders or as a leader. You don't sit around, fool around, joke around like Joseph Boakai. What jokers then? Then he's old, tell me, say he's old, this, you are actually really in our country. But anyway, let's try Mr. Williams again for one more time. Let me try Mr. Williams. If it doesn't work now, then we'll call it a day for Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, yes, we can see him now. Mr. Williams, good afternoon to you. How are you?
Yeah, how are you, Steve? I'm okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Now we can get you. You're loud and clear. Well, could you please introduce yourself to us and what brings you on the show?
Thank you, Steve. I'm Frank C. Williams, and I hail from Badibi. Work with the Ministry of Education since 2005. Served as principal for over 3 public schools. And right now, I'm a grief. And so I'm here today to share the platform. And let me use the platform to say hats up to Mr. Kane, Steve, and Among, and the rest of the panelists that is listening right now. And my big thanks go to Mabel, who connected me on the show. Let me say a blessing, thanks to him and Honorable Liability. It's a pleasure to share this platform with this evening, Steve. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Well, you're welcome to SKTV. You know that I did a very important on our station here. So, I mean, you say not very comfortably over there. You finish listening to all who you are and what's going on. But my question to you now is, let me talk in the Labran way. What didn't happen? What didn't happen that made you come in studio? Because you're not there coming in studio because you want me in studio today. What didn't happen that made you come in studio?
Well, you come here a little bit broken, Steve. You know, our country is a kind of a network private country. So,
right.
Really.
No, I said, what actually brought you in the studio today? What didn't make you come in the studio today? You're not there coming in studio because you want me in studio.
Yeah, that's true, Steve. I came in studio today to reveal some of the odd in society. To be specific, the Ministry of Education. My emphasis will be really on the Ministry of Education for today, and I hope that this will not be the only program. I believe that I need to share the platform so that we can go deeper into the Ministry of Education. And there are a lot of things. We got damnation recalling and a lot of stuff that we can reveal. Or will not be said today, Steve.
Okay, that's good to know. Well, you said all will not be said. On SKTV, we would like to corroborate information because we've built a reputation over the years of being factual in our session. Even though people disagree from the beginning, but when things come to reality and fruition, then people say, oh, the thing what they're going to be saying, what are true. So people take us very seriously.
Of course.
Yeah, people take us seriously. So your evidences that you have, we want to openly ask you here today if you can please share them with us. Because in order to make the case, we want to be clear. The fact that you've come in public, we also want to ask you publicly for some of these evidences. So what's really happening at the Ministry of Education that caught your attention?
Yeah. I came to the studio today, as I said, to reveal the odd in society with regards to the Ministry of Education. Let me place emphasis on Margibi County from where I hail. Margibi County has an education system that is corrupt. And these are people that continue to parade in the corridor of the ministry and thinking that they will succeed with their selfish gain. And these are reasons why our education system is bleak. And it is bleeding. Steve, let me be frank with you. And so before I go further, I want to make it clear here today to the listening audience that the education system, if nothing is done within a period of 10 years from now, or 4 or 5 years from now, Liberia will not have a space in the international space setting when it comes to education. If we not be careful, Steve. What do I mean? Steve, there are a lot of schools in Margibi and the country at large that is hosting unqualified teachers, and people are shielding the guys. It's in my shoe. This is why I came, because I have a lot of evidences that will be letting out, to Mayborn, in subsequent time. I can name schools right now, have principal that is not even an 8th grade student, and you say you principal for public school. I got schools that teachers are right now assigned that they are not even 6th grade students, and they are teaching in the classroom. It happens in my district. I want to restrict it to the Mampan Kaba Education District, where I hail from when it comes to the education district. And there's a guy called Andrew Kwanwa that was brought on board by Minister Soni at the time. And they took those guys from the position and brought in their own people. And they damaged the entire system. And can you imagine serving as principal for a public school, for a series of public schools in the country? Because of personal aggrandizement, I was suspended and I was reduced that I should go in the classroom as classroom teacher and work on somebody who is an 8th grade student, for which I stood my ground and said no. And I wrote the county CEO. The CEO has a kind of a laissez-faire approach in the county, Margibi, Mr. Stephen Toe, who gave the preference to anybody to do their own thing. I have copy of those letters in my possession. I carry complaint to the Ministry of Education, to the Deputy Minister for Instruction Office, Mr. Aman Fule, and nothing is done. We have recalling from his office. And right now, as a trained teacher that government spent a lot of money on, went through a lot of training, and we try now to leave the public sector and go in the private sector to be able to provide our expertise. And right now, I really want to leave the public sector and go in the private sector to be and contribute to society because of what is happening in Margibi County. So I think let me give you the space. Maybe you got some question to ask, but really,
Yeah,
there are people in the classroom that is not supposed to be there, and the ministry is doing nothing about it.
There are people in the classroom that are not supposed to be there, and the ministry is doing nothing about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me turn it over to my colleagues really quick. Maybe they get 1 or 2 questions for you, because on the hour mark we'll be going for the news bulletin, and we'll roll into the politics of the day. We don't want to mix you up with the politics because we don't want this to be seen as political reasoning for why you were here. We don't want to put you in a situation you can't handle. Mark, do you have any question or concern for Mr. Williams?
Well, for me, I think we still need more information because he was deliberating a lot of issue happening. So maybe I will ask him later. I think you asking for some evidences and some instances about things happening in the educational sector in Margibi County. It's kind of a funny, they are the only county in the country that got two sanctioned criminals as lawmakers. So it's no strange that the education system and the public sector school system is broken down as well. So because the last statement he made, he said they got some people that ain't that ain't even in sixth grade teaching other people. So I don't know where they are teaching them. But I mean, maybe I'm gonna ask a question later. I just want him to elaborate further whether it's a system failure or there are certain individuals that are not living up to expectation, because he said he want to move to the private sector because it would make sense going to the private sector rather than being the public sector. So I think you need to elaborate more so we can get more details. Yep.
Yeah. So what say you, Mr. Williams? Before we go to Melbourne, then we'll take a Melbourne. We have the news bulletin today, right?
Yeah. 7
Yeah, so-
o'clock.
Okay. Yeah. We'll take a brief break here for the news bulletin. Yes, Mr. Williams, what say you? Is it a system issue or there are individuals that are, what is it? Is it corruption, incompetence, ineptitude? What is it? What would you say?
Yeah, Steve, thank you. There is a system issue coupled with corruption, Steve, because the system in Makibi County is actually not. It's not supposed to be. And corruption is also coupled. Let me tell you one story before the news come. The Ministry of Education since 2022 provided over 2,000 space for teachers to be employed on the payroll. And the DO that I'm speaking about Mr. Andrew Kwenwa. I don't want to misalize the name because he was misplaced. The guy sold off the slot. The guy taking people that take criminal justice and bringing them in the classroom. My man, Steve, it is worrisome to my country, my man. Next to Maserado, they got so all of the slot taking people from elsewhere, employing family people, and people who are struggling in the classroom could not benefit for the Ministry of Education and employment under this Joshua-led government. And we'll provide the audios. They got identify.
So, 30 seconds. So, Steve, I'm getting information that we should continue. There will be 15 minutes on news.
Okay, wonderful.
We should continue with the show. Thank you so much.
Good. Well, then let's delve into this a little bit, because now this has become personal for me because I was born in Magibi. I was born in Kakata. I lived there up until the war. And so you are speaking about a county that is dear to me, apart from Lofa County, where I originate from. But this you're saying this is in line with corruption and so forth. Here is my question to you. I understand you were talking about the teachers level or the administrative level or so forth to run a school. And how is this impacting, the delivery of education to prepare the next generation or future leaders and so forth? What would you say?
Steve, I'm grieving because can you imagine the younger one that have been taught in a particular school will join the rest of the apple to spoil the apple. As the saying go, a single apple can spoil an entire batch of apples. And you see the thing creeping. Look, I went to school with Madam Jasso, the present education minister. We were in Ghana supermarket when I see Marco. My brother Babu Jara and myself went to school. I see Marco Catholic school. Jasso, if she was in country, I'm going to call upon her attention. I know her able lieutenants are listening. There is need that some of us be placed on maybe certain committee to do a proper filtering. Look, I was not counted in the hair count of the CSA because I stood my ground. I can't work on somebody who is not even an 8th grade student. So the DO now that was brought in back, that was Sonny, Professor Sonny at the time, is continuing to play his role and are calling for an unconditional removal. And even the county education officer, Mr. Stephen Tope, I served more than 4 DOs and 3 county education officers without any fault. Run public schools around the Makibi County Bell, Lower Bell. And then you telling me that I should subscribe because you have personal advertisement with somebody who can give you one chicken or one rooster or something. So you telling me, say, if the students should control me. So I said no. So he denied me of getting the appointment letter, and he denied me from going to the CSA head count. So the which I got no problem with. I'm qualified. I can go in the private sector today. Right now, schools are running after me. to teach. And so I'm teacher. I'm not somebody that's seeking job from government. Let Josiah Joker take the job and give it to a different person. But I came here today to reveal the order in society, to place more emphasis on Magidi County. Let the CEO be removed and let the district education officer. And there is no need our CDC created a new district. We have Marshall Education District. They created a Mamban Kaba Education District that is not even worth. The guy is sitting to one school called Mo Academy. They gave him one tele office that is not even big like the studio. He can't even improve it. When he comes to school, he want money. I tell him, I don't have. I took the school to WIAC for the first year. The guy he put there don't even know what WIAC office. And the school did not go for WIAC this year. And he found pleasure in it. That guy should be removed, Steve. We call it on our central government to remove him.
Before we go to Melbourne, here's my question to you.
Yeah.
Do you believe you are on a wrong path? And I say this to say,
I'm not getting you really.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Do you believe you are on a wrong path? Because have you exhausted all of the grievances process or the processes? Have you gone through all of the channels in order to make known your concerns and what you are saying today before coming to the public? Have you taken those steps?
Of course, Steve. I got a letter in my possession that we sent to the county CEO. The guy asked me to organize a PTA meeting in the school, for which I organized, and the meeting was well attended. We got the meeting attendance. He came in that meeting, and because during the election, he called some of us to support XYZ's pressing, for which I will not be able to call the name this evening. And we said no. The education system cannot mix with politics. He get at me. And then at the end of the day, he called a meeting after the election went on, and he came and suspended me for no reason, no letter of warning, nothing. I don't know the reason why. And so I wrote the CEO. And the CEO received the letter, and CEO said he was going to probe in. Since last year, December the 6th, I wrote the CEO. The CEO started with renege on it, and because he knows what is unfolding. And so he reneged on it. I did not stop there. I wrote the PTAS, the Principal Association, for which I'm a member of the Principal Association. I was elected as member. And I wrote the Principal Association, the DO influenced them. I did not stop there. I came to the ministry and wrote Amafole office, the Deputy Minister of Instruction. And I met Kulako and other guys in the office. They sent me back in the county. They can't give me the letter to go through the CSA process. And so I've exhausted, as you asked, Steve, all of the efforts. And I resolved, it better I leave the public sector and go, because I can't be saying one thing over and again, and the ministry don't have any means of going into the system to go and see as to what I'm talking is true or not. And so should I be all over the place until CSA threatened to delete any people who did not go through the process? So I came to the public. I think we need the code of opinion so that they can judge us, as things unfold. But I have exhausted everything, Steve. I can't go beyond what I've done.
Okay, Melbourne, do you have any question for Mr. Williams?
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Steve. And let me say to Mr. Williams, thank you so much for coming on this to inform us about some of these things that are happening into our education sector. But again, let's move now. You are also saying that there are some instructors, maybe principals or so forth, who are not qualified. Do you think that because of some of these things, that what makes some of our some will say because of some of these allegations, how we are experiencing some of the mass failure when it comes to our public text, or what?
Hold on one second. Let me unmute you, please.
The writing is not been done. The writing has not been done. And Magibi County is the melting point of unqualified teachers in the classroom. So we will continue to experience mass failure, less performance when it comes to the WACs and WIAC. I challenge you. The school we're talking about, if you will take a microphone there, in fact, all of the guys in the school, I will term them as unqualified. The reason why you see we removed from that school, we were going after them. How can you say you're a teacher, the community send you to the school, and then you can't provide even a WIAC certificate? Even when you provide a WIAC certificate, it does not qualify you to even be a classroom teacher. Maybe we can train you while on job. But the guys are not even sixth grade students. You bring them in, you put them in the school. And the school was built by government. Let's build a school. You see? So your question is, maybe we will continue to experience mass failure because let's take for example, those children are in the school there. Can you imagine if I ought to come and join their friends? Will they not be the rotten apples to spoil the rest of the apples in the bags? So thank you. Your question is well placed. Maybe we will continue to experience mass failure in Liberia if the right thing is not done. It's better to do the right thing and to live with the occupants.
So let me ask you this question, Mr. Williams. The people that you are complaining about, how long have they been working with you? How long?
In a school?
Yes.
The particular school I'm talking about, there are some of the guys that we are talking about really 4 schools that I know about, that I visited. The first school is the Mamba Central Academy 1. The principal there, Vanny Lasayo, is not a high school graduate, for which I served as principal before I was removed.
Yeah, how long you are working? Hold on 1 second, please. Let's take it one at a time.
Yeah.
How long you work with him there as principal?
As principal, when I was there, he came in the school 2017.
2017.
When the then DO transferred me to the school now I'm talking about, I left and he stayed in the school as principal.
Wait now, no.
The school now I left from for which.
Wait now, not to get easy now.
Yeah.
The school. Hello? So you work with him from 2017 as principal. You work with him from 2017 to when?
To 2018 when I left.
Yeah, but you have 1 whole year to work with him. Why you never raised the alarm? Why you never came to the public? Why are you bringing it up?
I came to the public.
When?
I came to the public. You know the reason why we in studio today is because education is not to be run on the media. So we have been pushing this from DO to CEOs. And these guys will go and manipulate, give people money. And so we left. That was the reason I left the Mamba Central Academy 1. And I was transferred to the Mamba Central Academy 3. And in the Mamba Central Academy 3, I can tell you, Steve, all of the guys that is in the classroom right now that is there. If one can provide a valid wire certificate, I resign. I will leave teaching and go do my farming.
How long you been working with them at the Mamba Academy 3 or whatever you call it?
I worked the present school that I left from. I worked with them for 1 year, and I've been reflecting the issue.
Okay, so you spent another 1 year.
The current school that I left from 1 year.
Okay. So right now you so like Monk said, can we please have the evidences so that when we're speaking to you on direct questionings or raising out some concerns, we can be able to go back to them, reflect on them, and so forth. Can we have the evidences so that we can reschedule this conversation? Because this is an interesting and important conversation. Just yesterday, one of our friends, we call him in here, who came from the US, supported Joseph Boakai, was on Facebook making the whole day, calling people in corrupt or whatever it is, got appointed on the table. He barely has a bachelor's degree, but he served as consultant to the Ministry of Education. Can you imagine this? When we say, we don't like the country, we hate the people. But these are things we set in the country for failure. And when we say education is paramount, whether you like it or not, you need education. You will have to go to the people who know book. This world runs on education. The world not running on prayer. You're not running on fasting. You're not running on church. It runs on education. When you get in an airplane to go fly somewhere, they're not men of God can be driving the airplane. Educated people that brings together. So we need seriousness in the educational sector. When we say you're getting best, but we are setting ourselves up for failure by people. So, Mr. Williams, that's my appeal to you. If you would please provide the necessary documentations, recordings, so that we can listen to it and authenticate it, then we'll bring you back on the show, because this is a serious conversation. We don't want to do it in rush and pick here, pick there, pick there. We want to approach this from a strategic standpoint, where we will allocate an entire show to you so we can go in depth, and if you allow, read from some of those transcripts or some of the documents that you provide us, play some of those recordings if possible, or quote some of the conversation from those recordings. But we need to have those evidences available. Then we can reconstitute this conversation. What say you?
Thank you, Steve. As you can see, this is the letter that was served to the county CEO, and this is the letter that was served to the ministry through the deputy minister for instruction. This is a certificate that I was elected as a part of the principal association. I will not come to national radio with a fake story. And as you can see, these documents are clear evidence that we wrote the ministry. They take hold of these documents. We have audio recording of all of the conversation that we had with the county education officer, ranging from the DEO, admitting that he agreed that the guy he placed there is not a high school graduate, and so forth. And this is the certificate that we were part of and were elected as member of the principal association and were inducted into office. And so what we are saying here today, we have great evidence and evidences that we can produce beyond all reasonable doubt, Steve. We are not faking anything here.
So we're waiting for those great evidences. Send it to us, send copies to us, and then let's reschedule.
Coming again?
I said we're waiting for those great evidences. Send copies to us. Let's review it this week. By next Thursday or Friday,
okay,
we can have another conversation with just you. Focus on this issue. It makes it easier for us.
Yes, I will donate. I am not giving you. I will donate those tons of recordings and evidences to Melbourne. If the need be, I will be on time, and certainly I will certainly do, Mr. Steve, Monk, so that we can go in depth. You will listen to HR asking for money. You will listen to DO admitting that the guy that is in the school is not qualified, but because of personal advertisement. You will listen to CEO saying that you don't have control. The men are political appointee. You were brought
don't
in.
Don't sell it to Melbourne before they check Melbourne.
You were brought in by
hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. So get a number.
Listen, Mr. Williams.
You will hear those stuff, my man.
Mr. Williams.
He was brought in by one Andrew Kwanwa, who was assistant minister for research at the Ministry of Education during Professor Sony time. You will hear people from the ministry, from the yes, sir.
Hold on.
Mr. Williams.
To me, you're right.
Okay.
Is right.
Okay.
I will give his WhatsApp number.
Exactly.
Yeah. Send a WhatsApp number. Send a WhatsApp number.
I will send no audios.
The WhatsApp number, they send it to them.
Okay.
Send a WhatsApp number. All those documents.
I will do, my man. I will donate. I'm not even giving, but I will donate those tons.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Thank you. Yes.
So I'm calling on the DO. You know, back days when we were in the country, we have one education district. The reason why you see the district is polluted now is because of people bringing people on board because of partisan. So our old guys that were in the district at the time, they removed them and bring in their own people. Who is Andrew Kwanwa? Who is Dominic that were at the ministry and handpicked Andrew to come and suspend Madonna Sami at the time, or Dinosaur in the Ministry of Education, who has the expertise when it comes to promoting the education system.
All right. So Steve, it's okay.
Mr. Williams,
and come back next time, please.
Mom, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I served George Wisner. I served more than 3 ministers down to Koto for any days. So I got a lot of things to give to Steve, and I will certainly do.
Thank you, Mr. William. Monk, we'll keep Mr. William in the back. We don't want Mr. William talking about what we discussed.
I know, and he's saying a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's why I was just about to come in, because you got to pick some of the next appearance.
The one that Steve and Mongo, The one
Mais bon. Mais bon, before the man leaves the studio, can you please give him a? I want you to get on the back before the jag phone. Like you say, everything to be why in the studio there right now. We don't want to choose your mom when you get out of the studio. So before we get to the lines here today, let's get into the conversation, the political conversation. We don't want too much what they call. Let's get into the political conversation. Monk, you heard what you heard. These are all allegations for now until we have some of the documentation to substantiate them.
Yep.
But what's you? From one ministry to another, it seems like this is rampant. This is bad. This is troubling. What's in you? What are we lasting on?
Yeah, when you come back on the show, we're growing a lot because from my understanding, listening to everything that he said, I'm going to gain the benefit of the doubt. It seems like he's someone that got a lot of experience, but unfortunately, the politics is playing to education that people from the ministry can handpick people, whether they are experienced or not, and just send them. So what he described me, actually, it sounds like a structural issue. It sounds like an individual issue, more of a corruption, political interplay is part of it. And I think he's sounding like somebody who is on his way out because when you're going against the cartel, don't forget the cartel is going to strike back. So he talking about going to the public sector because he believed there is no need. Maybe he got passionate about education and looking at the status of the country from an educational standpoint, he thinks that it's not going well and he's trying to find his way out. But in the process of going out, he just wants to be the whistleblower. That's my understanding when you put everything in the nutshell, that's technically what he's doing. Because you won't be going after those individuals that got political leverage, that got named, that been appointed directly from the Ministry of Education, that a regular principal would just go against the entire body. So I think he's on his way out and he's trying to clear his name by saying, you know what? The educational system in Magibi County is going down the drain. I've been doing it forever and I don't want to be part of it. So this is my way of blowing the whistle before leaving. That's exactly what he's trying to do, from my understanding, based on what he explained.
Mo, we saw the 15 million from the reporting from Front Page Africa. We saw the 15 million off budget spending. Now LACC saying they're going to investigate it. Here's my question to you. Do you trust the investigative arm of the LACC?
I don't think about the investigative. I think it's more of a, because even the LACC now, they are not fully funded. They've been raising a lot of suggestions and raising the red flag that they are not being supported financially. So even the government that's supposed to be empowering a watchdog institution, they are not being fully empowered. So I don't think it's about whether they want to be partial in the investigation. I don't think that is the case. But like I said, everything starts from the head. If you cannot set a precedent and other people are going to follow suit. So even the LACC, that's supposed to be a watchdog agency to make sure we talk about transparency and accountability. If they are not fully funded, then that's just offensive way of the government saying we are not interested in investigation and bringing people to the books. Because why will you not empower them in terms of the resources that they need? It's almost the same thing we witness when it comes to illicit drugs flowing into the country. The president took a drug test. He said he's going to make a drug, public enemy number one. But at the end of the day, he cut almost 70% of the LDEA budget. So it's the same thing we are seeing over and over. Like I said, Steve, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat or try to mince my words. I already said what I said. I know that the next 6 years is a waste of time. It's going to be here and there. Nothing is going to come out of this administration. That's what I believe. Until the improvement room, but I know it's the same.
Well, then the bigger question to you now is, in 10 months, based on the picture that has been printed by the Unity Party-led government, under the steward or the leadership of Joseph Yuma Bwaga and Jeremiah Kuhn, do you think they're showing a worse picture of George Weah 6 years? Because let's make this comparison. It's just 10 months, and we're seeing all this discombobulation, this confusion. They're not balanced. They're unstable. You know, it's confusing and conflicting. Do you think they're worse off?
Well, from the first 10 months, you would say they are worse off. And not only the idea of the operation of the government, it's not only the day-to-day activity, it's the idea of expectation. Look, Steve, there is reason people get something called expectation. Joseph Bwaga coming to this thing because it was the argument that Georgia was a mistake, that Georgia was in debt, that Georgia was never suited for that job. Okay, accepted for argument's sake. Now, the guy who's supposed to have 40-year plus of experience, former agriculture minister, former LPMC managing director, or how they call it, LPRC managing director, vice president for 12 unbroken years. You would think that he should have figured out this thing. I'm not saying, look, I keep saying it on the show. I never expected Joseph Boaga to solve all the fundamental problems facing Liberia. There were certain bare minimum that we expected of Joseph Boaga that would have signaled that he's off for business. You know, one of the things United Party people did, they are Joseph Boaga going to be the next William Arrow Tobo, because Tobo, he worked some of his time in the Tottenham administration. So he was able to see the mistake that one of the things they told during the election, that because Joseph Boaga was vice president, he never had the overall executive authority to go against Madame Sali. And now that he's entrusted with the presidency, we expected to see something different from Joseph Boaga. But unfortunately, at this stage, I will get Georgia or not for him, just from operational standpoint. I don't know. I'm not saying it's impossible for them to turn the situation around. I am saying, based on what we are looking at, it's almost improbable that it will happen. Because the first few years in your presidency, Steve, why do you think they got the culture or the tradition in the US they call the first 100 days? That's where the president sets the agenda. The first 100 days in office. It means that he will do all the work in 100 days. It just means over the course of the next 4 years, this is what you can expect moving forward. That's why they get out that tradition they call the first 100 days in office. You set the tone, you set the agenda, you give people an idea as to where you want to take the country before you start executing the task one after another. But in the case of Joseph Boaga, no, it's just about mass confusion, distraction here and there, bunch of lies, bunch of stealing, incoherence in idea and policy. 1 minute they bring in 3 billion here, another day they get 7 memorandum on anything from South Korea. You don't see anything. One day some wrapping buses that were rebranded and repainted from Ghana that was taken back. Look, how can you make this up? So at this stage, I think Georgia was more, I can say Georgia, even though I'm not a fan of Georgia either, because I think when it comes to the office of chief executive, he himself, he fall flat. I'm not, but based on, if I'm going to make the comparison between he and Joseph Boaga, then for the first 10 months to a year, I will give the nod to Georgia. There's no argument about it.
Okay, then let me ask Milburn a question before we open the lines. Milburn, 10 months into the United Party leadership, Joseph Boaga, with the only thing he's done, quote unquote, in his entire life, with experiences in governance or in politics or in Liberian governance or whatever, he became the second man in command for 12 years. I'm not saying 6 years, I'm not saying 2 years, I'm saying 12 years. 10 months into his presidency, 10 months into Joseph Boaga's presidency, do you think, if we are to measure what we see now and what's going on now, do you think there is any hope? And do you think President George Weah can be compared to Joseph Boaga now to say, yeah, at least President George Weah was much better than what we're seeing now? What do you say?
Well, so again, Steve, again, I will even tell you, even though people are telling me, maybe you gotta be careful and so on, but I will tell you that President Joseph Boaga is a failure. I will say that for free. Even if you like me or not, if you want to prosecute me tonight, you want to kill me tonight, you can do it, but I will tell you it's a failure. Because our eyes open to President Joseph Boaga when he was vice president by then, 2006. So from 2006, you've been experiencing all of the failure, everything that's been happening in Liberia up to 2023, when you took over as president. Now you are downing and whining with corruption. You are downing and whining with the same thing you said, that we squander Liberian opportunity. So in fact, you know, it's just like, let me recalibrate for me. So look, I see some of these things, because he admitted that by this stage or by this time or by this period, Liberians or Liberia not supposed to be to where we are today. But again, he said, oh, we squander Liberian opportunity. So that alone tells you that Liberia is supposed to be far ahead than some of the West African countries. So let's compare Liberia with that of Rwanda, right? After the war. But again, our president, he done it and wanted with corrupt leaders who in a cycle. Nothing gonna happen. The president suspended LDA or officials, or who are heading of the LDA when you were abroad. But today, Ami Mullah, other officials, they are down here and wanting, and they are moving freely. And there were posts coming from one senator who say, let come back home. When we come back home, the person will wake up. The person will not sleep. Nobody be setting. So that means the president been doing babysitting for a very long time. Where are we as people? Someone will come out and say, yeah, look, my people, Steve, even if I was that tonight, Joseph Boga is a complete failure. The reason I'm saying that tonight is because Joseph Boga took over from 2006. He was second man in command. When people were voting, George Weah, they said, oh, George Weah, they were experience, but all kind of things. Now, you took over now, 2003, 2023, 2024. You won 2023, and you took over 2024. To move forward as a leader, there's a lot of excuses like, no, my brother, for me, when we talk this thing, go say, even as we speak, gasoline, according to LPRC, they said gasoline is 775. Go to the fuel gas station, it's still 800. Transport fare, still the same. What we had in all the 42 years experience, complete waste of time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, let me ask a question to Mark, and then we can open the line. Mark, quite frankly speaking, the speed of disappointment, lack of public trust, corruption allegations, infights, being unstable, confusion, lies, tricks, games, and so forth has been demonstrated by this administration in 10 months. Do you really think there is any hope for the next 5 years and 2 months that the Unity Party can get back on the right footing or the right track? Do you think they can regain public trust, or will it just get worse going forward? What say you?
The reason I believe it will get worse going forward when you come to the presidency, right? The presidency is one of the most complicated jobs on the planet. You are juggling a lot of individuals, you are juggling a lot of institutions at the same time. You got a bunch of cabinet members to take care of at the same time. You are working in collaboration with lawmakers and other branches of government. It's almost like a CEO that controls a multinational corporation. You got HR department, you got research and development. You know what it means to coordinate people and organizations in different sectors. It's not an easy thing. And here's the thing. When you are even having those tasks, whether you come with your goals or you come with your vision or your blueprint, at the end of the day, there are so many unforeseen circumstances that will come to even disrupt. So it means you are not only focusing on your idea, you got to be waiting and open to things that will come and disrupt some of your own agenda. Do you think, you want me to believe, if Joseph Boakai cannot set the foundation in 10 months, you want me to believe that 5 years from now he will turn it around? It will get worse than what we are witnessing. The question is, it's not about the length of time you stay in office. It's about the agenda that you set and the kind of thing. Look, Steve, you know what I'm talking about. I think you one of those that came up with this whole idea about the concept you call the practice of elimination. You can remember during the election when we said the Liberian people, if you're really serious about moving that country forward, Joseph Boakai and Georgia should be the first two to cross off your list. Then go back to that list and pick anybody else. Because we knew what we was talking about these two individuals. And for the people, get a disclaimer here for you guys who thinking that because we are criticizing Joseph Boakai, so Georgia is an option. No, he just better than another worse guy. That's what we are literally saying. I'm not saying that he's a better alternative either. But the reality is, and don't forget, one thing I will give the black people credit. Can you imagine? We had took power in January of 2018, right? Before June, we had a protest. So within 5 months, Georgia experienced a massive protest from the Save the State. It was June 7th. We have 10 months. Joseph Boakai having any experience of protest here. He having experienced the kind of outrage from the opposition elect. But Joseph Boakai, I think the kind of the self-manufactured crisis that he's creating for himself is even bigger than January 7th. Because like what I'm saying, they are self-imploding because nobody is bothering you. The opposition are not on your neck. Your own government, you still cannot get it to actually take stand. I mean, how can you make the case? Look, Steve, there is one thing I learned. I'm not a Japanese, but the one thing I learned from the Japanese culture, they call it I forgot the name. They got a name for it, but it means the law of incremental improvement. When you cannot do one, you cannot do three. If you cannot do three, you cannot do five. Joseph Boaga can barely look. Steve, how long it took for Boaga to even bring his people on board? His own nominee to set his own government. Just the HR part of his job to bring people on board to form his own team. That's why I keep giving the analysis. I say, like, Real Madrid and Barcelona going to play, and you are the coach for Barcelona. And they say, Steve, go in the dressing room and draw your team. If you cannot even draw your team, what makes you think I will believe that you care about beating Real Madrid in a match? If you can't even draw your own team. So why we are waiting for 5 years? If they can do it, okay. God bless their soul. But I know from what I'm seeing, it's not going to get better. It's going to get more tedious moving forward. And I don't think Joseph Boaga is capable of turning it around. He can do all the reshuffling here and there. At the end of the day, if he cannot establish a clear agenda in what he's trying to accomplish, then there is no need. I'm not going to bet on the next 5 years. No, okay. I'm not placing a bet.
No more. Let's open the lines, please, and take some calls to get some reactions. Where is Liberia headed after 10 months of Joseph Boaga and United Party's leadership? Where is Liberia? Now the question here, we're not talking no different story, my people. If you talk funny thing, we'll cut you off. We're not here for
Indeed. Thank you so much. So
just a reminder, today is Friday. Today is Friday before you open the line. Oh, all right, sorry.
Yeah. Why? No. Why, Mom? I call it all right. Indeed, you correct, Mom. So
I was just reminding for today is Friday. We got to start hearing some update from our cash app. You know, we got to stay on the radio. So I hope our listeners are paying attention. Don't forget today is Friday. Don't be caught up in the discussion and the education.
Long time. Some of you will just come and comfort David. And all of you, man. Yeah, you got to visit us. So again, the number to call is 077-285-971. That's the number to call. And you just listen. Go straight to the point. If you come here with your holding and pulling, we'll get you out. 077-285-971. That's the number for you to call. Let me move straight to the line and pick my first call to this call. Good evening. Yeah, my brother, go ahead. Go ahead, David.
I listen to our educators. And you know, I have a say. For me, I don't like teaching profession. Because teachers created all of the greatest people in the world. But in Liberia, they are not paid. They are not paid well. And people favor things in the city. Professor Dawson was one of the worst things doing our government. They are very worse. That probably not doing well. Probably I wanted to more expensive school running 600. All right, and you are selling as educational ministry. That was a conflict of interest. So what the school was doing, things that were not right in the educational sector, it went on. Because you have the whole school running.
All right. Thank you so much. To this call, good evening. I mean it, please. Go ahead, Mario Sano. Am I correct?
Yeah, I believe when you ask us this, government has still the Liberian people. At the time in 2018, President we and the people were statement were announced. Some of us benefited from it. Documented rule of competed, jogging rule, groundbreaking or ongoing, the putting hospital up to the largest government have not had any tangible that we can agree that we can see to see how government is moving forward. So I believe this government has failed him. I don't believe that it will do better.
All right, the government has failed, no tangible according to him. So let's call a good evening.
Yes.
Go ahead, your name and from where you join us. District number 7, Bon County. Go ahead, brother.
Thank you.
Hello. Let's move to the topic for today. Where is Liberia after 10 months?
You know, let's discuss about the liberation of Liberia. Not 10 months. You know, for the beginning of any particular nation.
So, my brother, so you want to carry our battle, I know, 1822. We're moving forward. Forget about all that way back stories. Go ahead and tell us where we're going.
People believe it's about that to be.
Okay, people believe it's about that.
Right?
Go ahead.
Are you getting me?
I'm getting you. Go ahead, brother.
Thank you. So, I think they will build the country. They think about building a country then.
So you just listen to one of our panelists that you protested June 7. In less than a year, you protested. After you were not thinking about being a country, right? I'm going to stop making a behavior on that, man. Hello, to the call. Good evening. Yeah, my brother, go ahead. You talk about being a country. You protested in less than 1 year time. You're really the same on being a country. Go ahead.
Where are we headed to? We are headed to Germany. Because there is every sound on the wall that we are not going anywhere clear.
Okay.
For instance, convention will offer. And then there is no outcome. Then our budget still was 15 million. And then we look at the figures of.
Well, sorry though you went off. I don't know the reason why, but let's call a good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mom and Brasil.
Yeah, my brother, go ahead. From your private security area. Go ahead, brother. You said your name again. Your name. All right. Go ahead, Samuka.
I'll congratulate you people for your and for the job people are doing for us in Liberia. But every time you're acknowledged, we don't want to listen. But when you go out in school, in 10 months, in 2018, what we understood, what we saw, attention view on the previous government, but this government has not received no attention. We see everything for all they do is understanding. Come and say they bring it here and that. If the president will be good, we will know from the east. But we are not seeing anything. Let's just forget because what we wanted, because I think it was as you said, you forgot about Joseph, forgot about George. We are and just look at and see different people, Alexander Kumi, up until there, and set point of.
All right.
I think our country is people, so I will tell you thank you for your education and coming to us.
All right. Thank you so much to you also for being part of the show. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, baby, how you doing, man?
My brother, I'm okay. Thank God. The military, you also will get other people chairs. Well, in less than 7 months' time, we saw some of you were protesting.
Who protest? You see me protesting?
I said we saw some of you. It's gonna be you first.
Okay, this is ADP from Chicken Fashion, and let me say what's up to the panelists.
Go ahead, Eddie.
Look, neighbor, let me tell you something today. The only way you will see President, we are still in the picture. Maybe after 2029, who is President? We are winning. Because you see today, Madam Seri, who can discuss Madam Seri again and come to the presidency? But talk is finished. Until the people talk is finished, that the only one who can think about new bringing young people will be coming in. But now, so neighbor, today you go to South Africa today. The next person you know to think of President Weah. Myself had today election, you will head to that vote for President Weah. You see it? So until they can move for the picture, now so my brother, you and myself will stay face the same problem. Look, and coming out of Joseph Baga, telling you say Joseph Baga know that they're one puppet now. So everybody get running in. Nobody will come to the person and say, what is serious? Then you see the day they really go to this week. It is about you get or get 15 years, you get here on personal job. What do you expect for that man to do? He already retired. He didn't have focus on you, neighbor. That man will never focus on you. He has no future, nothing he don't get. So he not see for you and my dad. And any person that
All right. Thank you so much. So let's move straight to Pascal Davis. Pascal, you're live.
How you doing?
I'm okay. Where is Liberia after 10 months? What about the time when your senator said the economy were in the what? I don't know.
He said we're in the toilet.
Okay.
So we don't know where the economy is. You know, he one time went to Dugo market when the market was being constructed by the former president. He said they built a market, but you get nothing to say. You know, so I was like, wow, this is a breath for all of us. But maybe people are angry with you and angry with you because can you imagine when people say Mr. Waka to get angry? Say, why you gonna be Mr. Waka? I mean, come to think about the kind of society. Somebody said when he didn't go we did not elect an old man. When we told you the man was old 2023, I said was lying. How can that you want us to believe today that the man are old? You see how you guys are not even sincere to yourself? We told you the man was old. You said you're lying. The man are old man. They're in a mansion. You know why you told us? So that means so it's not there. And that capital job. And that job what up? Today, he has manifested his face to the country, to the world. You ask them where are we? Somebody told you the budget, the national envelope of the country, where growth and development depends on the budget, which is a tool for progress. They say the budget will also honor work.
Wow, Pascal, the rest of the line, even though I wanted to ask you also because the people in fact also put travel ban on some of your officials, and also they are very quick or ask about corruption. This question is so interesting. Steve and Moya, thank you for the question. Where are we as people? So let's call up. Good evening.
Good evening.
My brother, how you doing? Your name and from where you join us?
Conversation from District City. I hope I will have one equal time like other conditions that are having their time on the show.
They are not Seditian, they are Liberian. Hello. My brother. No, hello. I talk about the reduction of petrol on the market, but there's no any other reflection on the life of the people. So that one I advocate by itself. Well, again, my brother, go ahead.
No problem. Let me continue. Even I want 3 seconds because I know that what you're getting in as much as I have opportunity to this platform.
No, you are like, hey man, stop that. I gave you all the time to talk.
Thank you. So when it comes to the improvement of the country within this next 10 months of this administration, well, as a Liberian, as a future, as a Liberian, we will say thank you to the president and his leadership that he has brought on board. Now, I think we see some level of changes within the country. Whether there will be a mistake or misstep, oh yes, the Bible says that no man is survived with the error.
So when you talk about changing, hello, Kwehu, so when you talk about changing, then you got to be specific because people are listening. When I tell you, say, oh, maybe cut me off. So you got to be specific into so many changes.
So when it comes to this specific on the life of changes, right? You said yesterday I was a sick petroleum issue. When I get a process of petroleum, you said no, I should go for the high one. But then when you're talking about salary issue here, you don't go for the high salary, you go for the low one. You say whatever taking $100. But you don't say whatever taking $700, you go for the low one. So if I call the after the and say yesterday it's been sold into the market for $750, you say no, that's what I want. I'm gonna go for the $700, so we find out or $800 soon. That's what you want to hear.
But it's 800 at the pump. Kwehu is 800 right now as we speak. It's $800 Liberian at the pump. Foreign? Hello, Koi. I know Kwehu or what? You cannot tell me that Connex. Hold on. You cannot tell me that Connex, petrol, they are foreign gas. No. You don't have to tell me that in that for a man. Hello. Is it on my Koi? Is it I called you off? These are people that are paying taxes. We don't want to be fair, man. you don't want to be fair enough. In fact, you say having the political jacket, you don't want to be fair enough. These are people that even contribute to your budget. You said that you talk about foreign, you know what he's saying? You gotta stop that. Myself, are you to serve or if I constantly right somewhere around Bukok and Bo, yeah and there. So don't say that people pay taxes. And in fact, they even are employees. Oh, my brother, Jesus. Anyway, let me take a few more calls and I come over to Mark and I'll see to respond to this call. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Curtis Victor. I'm calling you from TSU Factory.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I want to speak on two issues. The education and what people talking about corruption. In the educational sector, where that Mr. William was talking about, it's clearing that there are certain people in the Ministry of Education that put their children on payroll and they demand the CEO to maintain the people there.
Okay.
So that because the pay is unchecked, it is the principal does not have power to eliminate them from the payroll. So the children are attending different schools and people are teaching as volunteer and the people taking pay.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Myself, I also even I heard that quickly before I take over to Steve, another monk. I heard that some of the government officials, they had their children. Can you imagine the child in school? Time for the mobile money stuff and so forth. The children, they take salaries. I bet you all of these things. So Steve and Mark, we're back. I want you people to respond to all of the callers before because I want to give people time so that you can respond before we go off for the radio.
Thank you, Noble. Monk, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What is your reactions to the callers?
Oh, my only reaction is I've been noticing over the past few weeks, the callers now they have been very unanimous when it comes to issue happening on the ground. I think they are finally realizing that this thing is beyond politics, that everybody has been affected, whether it's in the educational area, whether it's healthcare, whether it's the economy. Don't forget, in Liberia, I told you, there is a particular region of the country that is totally disconnected in terms of road. And you know the hustle can be tough during the rainy season because Liberian people, we are afraid of rain. And to look for food, you know, you got people who live on a day-by-day basis. And if you cannot get out there to go and hustle, it becomes tough. So people are complaining. At the end of the day, this cannot be about politics. And even the House Speaker, he even reaffirmed or he confirmed things we've been saying on the show, that Liberia now at this stage is beyond politics. Everything is economical, whether it's about people beyond payroll. Why would you think a principal that have been in the system for years, or let's say close to a decade, he would be wrestling against people that don't even say have 6th grade to 9th grade education? It's because the economic people want to steal. It's about corruption. Everything is a free pass. Nobody is in charge. The president is not putting his foot down. So at the end of the day, his able-bodied lieutenant could care less. It's all about stealing. It's all about leverage. You've seen it happening at the Ministry of Commerce, Public Works, LDEA, and it will cascade. You know, everything got a cascading effect. It starts from 1 to go to 2, from 2 to go to 3. Pretty soon will be from the finance ministry, and it will encapsulate the entire government because the man who is charged with the responsibility of executing the office of the president, he's not there. He's not capable. So at the end of the day, I don't expect anything better. I will keep saying it. I don't expect anything better. If Joseph Burger was a slot machine and I walk into a casino, I'm not sitting behind a slot machine because I know I will be a loser. At the end of the day, I'm not going to bet on it. Yep.
Well, thank you. Noble, how do you react to the callers?
Well, so again, let me say thanks to all of them for their participation. But again, some of them are accusing some of us to say, we look, my brother, especially Koyu, I live here. I ride motorbike. In fact, I let me get a car. That's the first thing. So I'm one person who up and down almost every day. So there's nothing that you will tell me about Liberia, nothing that you even, or maybe you would say, this other thing is happening and this other one is, no, I'm everywhere. Call my boss, call our own CEO Liberia, he will tell you. For me, I monitor social media. I'm everywhere. I go places. People call me for so many information. So when we come here to tell you what's going on, please, even if you want to support, just tell God thank you for our president and the job he done. But if you come here to say, oh, this one is happening, oh, no, my brother, gasoline right now as we speak is $800 Liberian at the pump that been recognized by government. Even if you go back to the LPRC press release, they will tell you pump price. So forget about one day, maybe so they can buy. So myself, I used to be can buy before. So forget about can buy. Can buy will get their own gasoline, maybe by the way of coke, by the way of maybe bloody or so forth, and sell it any kind of way they want to sell it. So it's not the actual price. Granted, even if you say that, how is the transport fare right now from place to place? But you don't care. All you care about gasoline price is down. Even if gasoline price is $200, how much from here to go Central Monrovia? You don't care. All you care about is your truck. Just because you feel that maybe you voted. It's not crime. You can vote for somebody, but also get in mind that if the person is in error, tell them that what I voted for is not what you're doing. But some of you feel that when you vote for the person, that means by all costs, even if it costs for you to die, you will die. Brother, so that is Steve. Thank you so much to you and President Monk. Thank to all our followers, our viewers.
Well, thank you, Milborn. Just before we get our parting statement, I want to say thanks to all of the callers and the viewer. You know, my picking over Julia writing in the comment section there, I scared. My picking, I've been calling me. I called Joe Lobo me. That is a joke. All the thing they made no or Joe we have for corrupt or whatever it is. He working as a Mexican on a cover in your own country. Call himself the same minister of he consultant to the Ministry of Education. That what made the educational system low like that. As it will be afraid. Me? No, you may understand me, my people. You say, oh, know me better than that. But anyway, the monk said the reaction from the callers shows a lot. It tells a lot. Finally, they're coming to terms with reality. Gradually, we're getting. The
elections are over now. They're just getting to realize they're coming back.
Yeah, some of the things that they insulted us for, we coming to see it now, here and there. But I think Monk said something that's very, 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 very interesting here earlier today that, you know, we must pay attention to. My people, let me tell you today, when the Christmas will be good, we can know for the Eve. By the way, the Joseph Human Boga government is proceeding, even Jesus can help them. Even Jesus can help them. Can you imagine the opposition has not even started to hold them accountable? The jacking. The opposition not even start moving yet on them. But by this time, we have had June 7 protests. And the real government were under immense pressure. Joseph Human Boakade self-inflicted wounds that he giving them hard time. The opposition not even ready yet to really start holding them accountable. They're not even ready to start holding them accountable. And they're all checking and they're calling. You're not calling yet. And you say you're sophisticated. The reassurance that yeah, Monk. So what is your parting comment before we close up here because we'll be on time today? What is your parting comment?
My parting comment is we are come to a 360 degree on the issues affecting the country. We said it from the initial stage, the way the president got started. Matter of fact, on SKTV, we made some recommendations. We told Joseph Parker we are not consulting. We are not expert in every sector of government, but we know there are certain common sense things that work. There's a track record there that these things work. And Joseph Parker was running in the opposite direction. The only difference from the beginning of this year to almost the end, because we are just less than 60 days away from the end of 2024, the pendulum has swung back to the voters, and now they are coming to grip with reality. For them, they were seeing politics first. For us, we were being pragmatic in our approach as to how the president was proceeding. Now, The men of God in the country now all jumping on Joseph Boaga and now they criticize the president. We never experienced that from the onset of the administration. But at the end of the day, we always say it. We are not going to change our business model here. The truth will always be the truth. Joseph Boaga is not proceeding well. So you can give yourself fake hope or false hope. You can give yourself all the pep talk and enthusiasm that you want, either way you want to call it, whether you're on the rescue train. But at the end of the day, the players on the rescue team themselves are saying, you know what, it's about time to change course, and this thing is going down the drain faster than we expected. So the criticism, and we are not holding the government accountable, it's coming from the very people, the same people on the rescue train that were living in fantasy. They have finally been, I think they up now, they're coming from their sleep, from their slumber. That's all I can say. And over time, people will see it for themselves.
Well, let me say this. Your president been gone for the country for 2 weeks now. 2 weeks. He's saying I ain't raw island.
Right now as we speak.
He's saying I ain't raw island. Say he what they call him, other old man there too. They giving a war and all the other things. We told you. Joseph Boaga is not a serious man. We told you. We told you 2 weeks he been gone. And for each of the days he out of the country, he getting pardon.
Oh yeah, the whole crew now on the him.
He on safari, joking around, fooling around. The same thing that the criticize job we have for.
Yeah.
What the criticize job we have for. But you're sitting there in Liberia, the rain. And then see your president.
That's the first thing that when you talk, some of them they get angry. You know, in fact, they go into a finish. I don't know they want us to like.
NSU minor leader right after the summit.
Yeah, the UN General Assembly been disbursed long time ago.
All the other things going on in Liberia with the rain, heavy rainfall, you would be there with your people to see how you can help and do other things. But Joseph Boaga passing on safari, chilling, enjoying himself. And then when we take the last caller here, we take the one caller here, and then maybe I beg you, then we'll call your day, folks. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from, please?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, morning, and maybe in Liberia. You know, real quick, man. I just wanted to raise it. I don't know whether you got any information on this, but with all of the natural disasters going on in Liberia, let's agree that President Boaga is not in Liberia right now. This is for Nimba County. The vice president is from Nimba County. Have you seen any pictorial of him identifying with the flood victim in that place? Or Prince Johnson, or even any of those rescue Ramos or the rescue Chuck Norris and things?
What? The Delon, the Yombly, all of them, yeah.
See, but this is my partner.
The Speaker of the House, all of them, yeah.
Literally going on the water, and these people, you don't even have any of those. The face of the government. I don't see the representation of any of them, but rather running behind people in California and other places here. So I just wanted to bring that to the attention of people right here talking about gas price. Of course, gas going down because of the global price in petroleum product. Simple as that. But that's not an issue like we're not feeling right now, Steve. The country is literally sinking on the water. And every day you go on the social media, you're not going to see one of the government officials identify with any flood victim.
No, it's not. Thank you. Well, folks, we'll be back tomorrow. Melbourne. Yes. Tomorrow we'll talk about some of the related issues in the country. I guess the men of God are deciding to speak now. I see Cotto Brown talking.
Yeah, man. Because of time today, we were.
Tomorrow, getting back to the social issue.
Well,
the other men of
God. We're going to talk about some of the prayer things. Somebody now confessing that, in fact, what they said before, in fact, it was lies and so forth. We'll look at all of these things on tomorrow by the grace of God. And let me say, Steve, thanks to you people. You know, sometimes back home, some of us will feel threatened. But again, that's the beauty of life. For some of us, we don't care because for me, I can tell people, even if you want to get angry with me for saying the truth, well, it's your right to get angry. But I will tell you that we all go through the same thing. When the rain fall, it fall on the good and bad people. That's one thing I like about God. When the sun shine, it shine on the good and bad people. So when things get better in Liberia, it gets better for the good and bad people. So why would some of you get angry because we flagging out some of these things? And that's true. For the past, or someone would say, in 7 months by this time, CDC was heavily criticized, protest, back to back. Now you reach a time you are defending. Anyway, my brother, good night.
Thank you so much. Folks, let's have a good night.
There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to serve. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The brothers giving us the end of the rest of them. So welcome my life with African.
I live for health.
Master.
Play body so make you I can't ask it if you been you. Say my journey, tina get I say my yamu. And you no money, and more I know. And you love
SKTV the best in Liberia. SKTV the best in Africa. SKTV the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandfather.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money. And I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money. And I forget it now ya to money. That's the TV. And I forget it now. Toss you work on my ya to money. Yeah. Oh.
SKTV the best in Liberia. SKTV the best in Africa. SKTV the best in Mama Liberia.
There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast.